Wagwan YouTube people. All right, so let me explain this right quick. So I've been benching as often and as as frequent as I can get. Like I bench every chance I get. And the reason why, so Kobe, I was watching a bunch of interviews and things like that, and I remember he spoke about how one time he was at a camp, all the other kids were better than him, and he basically would wake up at the ass crack of morning to eat and train and sleep. And he did that like 3 or 4 times before it was actually time to practice. And he did that for several years until he was able to catch up to the field in like 2 or 3 years. And with this, it's just a matter of me being consistent, me practicing, me staying injury free, and doing that over an extended period of time. Now, my grand goal for this year is to bench 500 pounds. And I truly believe that if I can just stay consistent, I keep going, and I stay on top of my nutrition, I keep gaining this weight, because I'm still not 205 yet, a consistent 205. I feel like if I can continue to do that, and I continue to stay positive, I stay in the right mental headspace, that I can eventually reach that goal. So we're picking up the frequency. A lot of times, if you increase the frequency on anything, it's like practice. If you do it more often, you will get better. And I will say that I'm a really prime example of this notion, because I feel the more often I bench, I feel sharp, I feel consistent. It doesn't feel like a new movement. If you haven't already, go check out the Michael Say and Swole Fesser video where they talk about bench press setup. It's a really good video. If you guys are having trouble with your setup, or you feel like you're really inconsistent, I definitely suggest you go to their YouTube channel and you check that out. This is 374. I hit it for 3, and that was by far like the easiest that weight has ever moved, especially after all those working sets. So your boy is trending upward, and so that's the goal, man. Eventually I will catch up. I know I will. I just have to stay consistent, and I have to stick to the game plan. If you have an RPE and you're hitting like singles, or you're hitting any top set, that is time for you to practice. That is time for you to hone in on the skill of your 1 rep max, or not your 1 rep max, but that is time for you to hone on the skill of you hitting and practicing like it's going to be a 1 rep max. And if you're adhering to RPEs, you don't have to go super duper crazy to hit like a heavy working single to start off that workout. And a lot of people see a 7 and think, all right, I'm gonna go crazy. It's like, no, a 7 is for you to practice. There's no volume in a single. The work happens when you actually start training and the weight gets lower. So don't go like super duper crazy. Just think of it as practice. That's how I'm using all these bench singles and the bench frequency. It's time for me to practice and build volume without destroying myself. Deadlifts are gonna make a comeback. I really feel like they're gonna make a strong comeback. The best variation for deadlifts is beltless deadlifts. With a belt on, it's so easy. I'm doing these pause too. Well, the goal was 3-second pause, but you know I'm lacking. But the best variation for deadlift is beltless deadlifts. You have to focus on stabilizing your core that much more harder, because if you throw on a belt, it's so easy to just ditch the program, or not ditch the program, but just overshoot and lift entirely too much, and then it damages the following working sets, and maybe even to the point where it messes up the following training sessions after that. So adhere to the RPEs, like stick to it. But you take that belt off, it'll humble you real quick. Like when I did 495, I was like, goodness, this joint is extremely heavy. But I'm sticking to the script. Shout out to Jamal, because Jamal is competing this weekend at the Hybrid Showdown. So if you don't follow him, Jamal_B15. And he got a YouTube channel too. Just type in Jamal Browner. He's competing. He's gonna deadlift everybody's home. He's gonna deadlift you guys out of debt. Okay, any debts you got, he gonna deadlift you out of it. So go show my boy some love. He even does pause deadlifts. Like he swears by them too. So I decided to give them a try, and we're just gonna work them in. Deadlifts, I feel like I've always been really good at deadlifting, and so it's really time to train them and work hard at them. Oh, another thing, don't squat your deadlifts. Like your hips are, you have to find that neutral spot for your hips to be in, where it's a hinge, because it's a hinge. It's not a squat. You squat your squats and you deadlift. You hinge your deadlift. So a lot of people end up shooting their hips. Their hips get super low and their back is like not at an angle. It's like straight up and down. That is the wrong lift. I don't know what lift that is. That's like a trap bar deadlift. So I also find that a lot of people will lock out their legs first and finish with their back. And I feel like if that happens to you, then you have not that you have the wrong leverages, is that you're utilizing your leverages the wrong way. So figure that out. Make sure your hips are at like that middle point and stop squatting your deadlifts. Please stop doing that. But I think that's it for this one, man. I'm going to try to put out more like explanatory, try to dive a little bit deeper and do less voiceovers and really get personal and talk to you guys about what I'm doing, so y'all can get a feel for me, my training style, and how I'm making the progress that I plan on making. So y'all be on the lookout for that. If you made it to the end of the video, you rock with me and I rock with you. So go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, show your boy some love, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Deuce.